How do you know when you're in space consciousness? Here's some examples that I've found in my life, and I know you found these in yours. How often did you simply listen to the rain? Just listen. Or listen to the sound of the wind. And your entire attention was on the rain, the sounds it made, the way the wind moves through the trees. Or lying back and watching clouds drift across the sky. Your entire focus was there. Or when you're lying back, maybe in that same meadow, and you close your eyes and you just feel the sunlight kissing your face. Or it may be a time when you encounter a stranger and something draws you to that person, something calls to you to pay attention to this person you've never met. And you're paying attention. You're giving them your awareness. You're sharing your presence without the expectation of anything in return. It's an encounter with another human being, another soul, another heart, another mind. In these situations, there is a pause in the stream of your human thought. Thought quiets, the mind quiets. You are fully present, fully focused, fully awake. And that's it. That is space consciousness. Would you bring the lights down and meditation level, please? Got to have faith. My invitation is for you to focus on the plane. That's all you have to do. Simply focus on the plane and the plane alone. And now begin to draw your breath from that plane. And return your breath to the plane. Draw your breath from the plane. Return it to the plane. Focusing only on that. That which is focused on the plane, that which is aware of the plane, is you. Your essence, your presence. And you can hold this awareness and this presence, this divine presence, even as the lights come back up. Because it doesn't require meditation. It doesn't require sitting still. The object of continuing on this spiritual journey of becoming ever more awake is to be aware of this consciousness all the time, regardless of what you're doing. It is making a quantum shift. This is change on a cosmic scale for humanity. To go from spending 99% of our time focusing on the less than 1/10 of 1% of what appears to be becoming, encompassing, and approaching all of life from a consciousness of that awareness of the presence that underlies all things, that very subtle, alive, electric presence. We've all had this experience. We've all been there. You can call it by whatever name you want. And in your life, in your experience, how intensely you experience this presence that underlies and holds and allows for each and every moment of your life, for every atom in your body, all 7 octillion of them. The intensity of that awareness can run the gamut. You might notice it as a very subtle background awareness of contentment. Just contentment. Although when I use the word just, I'm not belittling or diminishing contentment. If I could wish that every human being on the planet were at all times content. Wow. But it can run from this subtle sense of contentment all the way to what the ancient Indian sages called and call still, the contemporary ones, Ananda. Would you say it with me? Ananda. Ananda is the bliss of being. The bliss of being. Some of you are aware of Paramahansa Yogananda. Yogananda. His last name, the unified bliss of being. Yoga, union. Ananda. The bliss of living, the bliss of life. What a great last name. If I were to change my last name, I'm adopting Yogananda. Last Sunday, Mary Ann Davis brought her granddaughter, Kira, to service. She's a beautiful little 2-year-old, 2 years old. She's got the most amazing head of hair. Gorgeous.
Crazy.
She calls it crazy? She's 2 years old, she calls her hair crazy. I love that. And here's what I noticed. As I was speaking, my eyes would somehow take in her face. And she was focused on me. Every time I looked her way, those beautiful brown eyes of hers were focused on me. And at one point I was unconsciously gesturing, and I looked her way, and she was gesturing with me. I almost said, you take over. And I think you probably would have learned something.
She wants to know why there was no blue. Still.
Well, I'll find an opportunity to talk with her about that. After the service, one of you came up to me and said, "Did you see that little girl? She was watching you all the time. She never took her eyes off you, and I couldn't stop watching her." That awareness, that subtle awareness of what was going on in that little 2-year-old girl, Kira, that appreciation, that beauty and awe, that quality which is resident in Kira and also resident in all those who witnessed her, that's it. That's it. That's what it's all about, I think. It's everything that every spiritual master has been teaching or preaching, is to come to that place, to live from that state of consciousness. And you can't say, even once you experience it, you can't say, now I've got it. Now I understand it. Because it's not capable of being had, and it's not susceptible to being understood. It is as formless as a cloudless sky. But here's the good news. The more that we are openly aware of it, the more you and I experience it, the more deeply and frequently we're in it. We are being